Pleasant good day to one and all. It's raining now. There's a state of emergency, so my hands are kind of tied behind my back when it comes to moving around, getting things done. So I decided, let me end off this year with the final stream. This is going to be my final stream for 2024. You won't be seeing me online for a bit, at least in terms of these sorts of streams. First of all, praise be to the Most High God. The Most High God always comes first. Second of all, the stream is brought to you by LIVE products. LIVE, live now, we're live now. As you can see there are a number of cleaning products, and we also have a line of drinks. Let's go to the drinks. Natural fruit juices or natural fruit drinks. You can have flavors such as sour, fruit punch, grapefruit, morbi, orange juice, and lime. In terms of the drinks, in terms of fruit punches, we have 3 different fruit punches. We have beetroot punch, we have pumpkin punch, and we also have peanut punch. In terms of cleaning products, we have the disinfectant, we have fabric softener, dishwashing liquid, and liquid detergent soap. LIVE, live now, we're live now. Bone says, this is my Superman. This is in response to someone asking, which is your Superman? And they have Tyler Hoechlin Superman, and they also have Brandon Roth Superman. But as you can see, the pushback is just epic for this. You know, for some reason, this post just kind of changed. These are the responses to the post, which somehow, I'm not quite sure how, but so this is the post here. And look at the responses. Cavill. And then just kill it. Cavill. At least there's Hoechlin and Roth here. Cavill. Brandon Roth and Tyler Hoechlin are not my favorite Superman on screen, but both do a good job in the role. I'm glad Brandon Roth had a second chance and played Kingdom Come Superman and Crisis on Infinite Earths, and glad that Tyler had his own television show. This guy's mocking. Tyler's show is fantastic, but the suit, like the Man of Steel suit, was entirely too dark and desaturated. The suit needed a bit of Cavill. We haven't seen him in a while. Cavill. You kind of get it. A lot of people like Henry Cavill Superman, and you're seeing it over and over again. More than any other Superman. There's Cavill again. They got a couple of Brandon Roths there. Cavill again. Cavill. It just goes on and on. Cavill. The most popular Superman is Cavill. There's Cavill again. There's Cavill. A lot of people like Cavill. In fact, the last one is Cavill. So, of course, the most popular Superman out here is Cavill. And unfortunately, it's just one of those things where I'm going to put my input in there. I'll use the hashtag in this case. So I can get a good picture of Henry Cavill as Superman. I got a couple here. Now, I only like Cavill Superman when Zack Snyder's involved. If Zack Snyder's not involved, not really particularly interested in Henry Cavill Superman. Other directors have not done a good job at all with Henry as Superman. You know, so I wouldn't want somebody else doing Superman unless it's a director that actually understands Superman well. Come into it. We'll find it. We'll find Henry Cavill Superman in a second. And the thing is, Cavill's got such a wide range. I love this. This is great right here. That's the man. Somebody else saying Team Cavill all the way. Yeah. Guy says name a bigger downgrade.
Given any thought to that?
I have, actually. I gotta find a job where I can keep my ear to the ground. Where people won't look twice. When I want to go somewhere dangerous. Start asking questions.
When are you gonna throw me a bone? Courtside seats to the game tonight. What do you say?
I say you should go back to trolling the intern pool. You'll probably have more luck. Sorry.
Courtside?
Don't.
Lombard, Lane, I want you to meet our new stringer. I want you to show him the ropes. This is Clark Kent. Good luck, kid.
Hey, Steve. Nice to meet you too.
Hi. Lois Lane. Welcome to the planet.
Glad to be here, Lois.
Have you given any thought to that?
I have, actually. I gotta find a job where I can keep my ear to the ground.
Movies and games related said us the fans are still waiting for the Snyderverse to be finished. I can care less about another DCU soft reboot. Finish what Zack started. I'll say this, and I'll say it again and again and again. Okay? I don't care about any other Superman right now. I care about seeing the Justice League go up against Darkseid. How many times do I have to say that? I want to see the Justice League go up against Darkseid. Okay? So if you just cut that out and then you're talking about a rebooting the franchise, I don't want to hear that. So my mind's not, that's why even I use the Restore the Snyderverse hashtags and stuff. It's because I'm not there where these people are. They're like, move on. I'm like, fuck no. We're about to see our equivalent of the Avengers versus Thanos, and you're telling me I need to move on? Fuck no, I'm not moving on from that. Okay? Is what it is. You know? Oh, I almost forgot. as we're having the stream here. If you want to support this channel at the end of 2024, you want to show some love by donating money to this channel, there's the link. It's in the description. Okay? Because, I've relentlessly been in support of Restore the Snyderverse for now, how many years has it been? This will be our 4th year. We're coming to the 4th year. It's 3 years now, but it'll go on the 4th year. And, we've been steadfast, this channel. KS hashtag #SellDC. The idea that Reverse Flash was the real villain behind the entire Snyderverse was honestly the best twist I've ever heard in a comic book series, and yet we've never seen it. Stanley Ipkiss says, imagine Reverse Flash being there throughout the whole DCU, pulling the strings behind the scenes. Could have been the one that created a tornado that killed Superman's dad. Probably, maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? Check this out, people. Super Tube Eddie, he's talking about what a freaking shot. Check this out. Well, you can't hear it. It's not loud enough, but the shot of Batman, and we're seeing what Commissioner Gordon's seeing. That's kind of cool.
What would it look like if a single grain of rice?
Okay, this is
Trying to be
a
normal.
little behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, wait, it's supposed to have wheels?
Yeah, I've got her. Yeah. Do the,
Let's see it. Is that your penalty motion? What do you think, John? You're right, Mike. Yeah, no, that's good. Okay.
And Lois is, one of the major reasons why Cal chose Earth. And there's that wonderful purity there. There's that friendship. There's that honesty with each other, which
I like that he was riding a bike to
anyone
work
else.
instead of driving
Cal
a car
brought about
getting a cab.
a different insight for Amy about the truth and humanity, and Lois brought about a truth to Cal about humankind and them being worthy.
Welcome to the planet.
Glad to be here, Lois.
Love that pun. That was great. So dope.
You guys, we made it here to Doha. We're walking around, and I do not feel safe. This
guy's
place
funny.
is
Rasputin
crawling
is a funny
with
guy.
Hamas operatives. We literally just came across some future Hamas terrorists. Look at that. Look at this. I don't know what it says, but it probably says something about Hamas. It's like a Hamas command center to me if I've ever seen one. We're interviewing for the Hamas leadership role later on today. Wish us luck.
Peter Dow says, I'm not pro any organization or government. I'm anti-killing children. Bro, I'm so with you on that one. Sirkan KRCL, Restore the Snyderverse says, Restore the Snyderverse. And Batman at Warner Brothers Discoveries, WBD. Seeing this battle, I imagine how colossal the battle of Darkseid versus Superman would have been. Yeah, I think a lot of you guys feel the same way I do. In terms of seeing the Justice League, Superman versus Darkseid, we were going to see it in the second one. Superman takes on Darkseid, and he's supposed to fight him a bit. But Darkseid will, boom Toom out of there, and he'll kill Lewis, right? But, man, this shit is just lit. Look at that stuff. Look at that stuff. Oh, my God. That, compared to the crap we're about to get as a Superman movie, is just, oh, my God. It's just night and day. Breaking. Israel just bombed Syria's capital city of Damascus, killing 17 innocent people. 17 dead in an instant. Only Israel is allowed to massacre civilians in Syria, Palestine, Lebanon, and Yemen without a single peep from the international community. It is very outrageous. Somebody did a CG of Superman versus Doomsday from Batman vs Superman. It's pretty dope. Check this out. That's CG. That's really cool. Fan-made teaser. So that's so fucking dope. Mi poster de la Zack Snyder's Justice League. So this is Jose doing a 2021 Zack Snyder Justice League poster. It's pretty dope. Actually, I've seen concept art on this, I think. It's a concept art. It's still dope. It's really cool. Look at that. Let me give you a zoom in so you can see it even closer. There it is. Isn't that cool? That's fucking cool. Never seen a man bigger than a tank until now. This Dr. Hossam Abu Safia approaches the cowards hiding in the tanks. It's hard to believe. Where else would one see something like this? He was trying to get peace, and they didn't care about peace. Snyder's the blueprint, baby. Everybody started doing it after Man of Steel. Everybody.
You always held me.
From Invincible to DC Comics, to Supersonic. Sonic the Hedgehog, that is. Cool. Superman and Lewis, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. It's Zack Snyder, bro. It's friggin' Zack Snyder. Can someone who is not a fan of Zack Snyder explain to me why pointing out comparisons like this incites so much anger? Why is he the only artist that other artists cannot be allowed to take information from? Especially when so many claim he's good at what he's good at is action and cinematography. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it, bro. Hate makes people stupid. It was me, Barry. I created that tornado. Wanted Superman to come out at the age every metahuman would have been hunted down and captured. It had been easier, but I underestimated his father. That man stopped my plan, forcing me to kill your mother to fulfill my plan. Nothing personal. That's kind of cool. China says the war in Gaza is a disgrace for civilization. These Muslims and Christian cowboys march in unity and solidarity in support of Palestine in Texas. The Zionists have worked so hard to defend.
So wait, 40 beheaded babies, and then what about the ovens? Did that happen too?
Oh my God, yes, and I've seen it with my own eyes. I have the videos, yeah.
She said she saw it with her own
Everything I'm saying,
eyes.
it's not. Everything you hear, it's actually
liar.
not a.
You're lying. Tricking my ups in all 2025 recovery was coming in through the front door, dummy. By the way, when the doctor returns, he also comes up through the floor and pulls guys down. It's a little different. Not just the video. Free Palestine. They be doing it all over the place, all over the world. They be doing that. Will says, I don't know if this is a coded plea to Zack Snyder Cavill fans to pretend the last 5-10 years didn't happen, or a general statement to Superman fans as a whole. Either way, I respect the intent, but I think Gunn really hasn't read the room or understand either side all that well. James Gunn hopes that fans can open their minds to different interpretations of Superman. I'm going to say this right now. Nothing James Gunn can present of Superman interests me. Okay? It just doesn't. To me, it's an insult to Superman to have him appear the way he appears in his trailer. The way how he treated Superman in the trailer and all just turned me off. So I really am not interested in anything James Gunn has to do when it comes to Superman. I don't think that he has a really good understanding of Superman. Clearly, he had no plan going into making the Superman movie, what he wanted to do. He tried to get certain fans involved, fans who are not the majority of fans in DC. I don't think he has a feel for what DC is. You know, shout out to Brad Run. Amazons are so freaking badass. Huge alien just appears with a huge lightning axe in one hand, covered in razor blades, and none of them hesitate. We have no fear. You know what I'm saying? Comic book stands are so out of touch, they'll defend the ugliest design you've ever seen for the sake of comic accuracy. I like that WB takes them seriously too. They deserve to get laughed at.
I think it was a bad. Here's the thing. This is very comics accurate, but to a specific era in the comics. There's another issue. I don't think that the Marvel characters have changed that much over the years, the many years that they've been published over at Marvel. But DC characters have changed substantially from era to era. And I believe this is a Silver Age Guy Gardner. And this is what he looked like. But that's not what he looks like today, even in the comics. And I think that, you know, James Gunn probably grew up reading comics for DC where Guy Gardner looked like this. And so to him, he's like, oh, I've recreated my youth. But I think that he has to realize that everybody, unfortunately, has a different idea of what Guy Gardner should look like. And then also, I think there's, you know, comic books actually don't sell that many comics. The comic book audience is so tiny that it would never be enough. If every person who's ever read a DC comic, even just once or twice, went to see a movie, it would not make enough money. So you have to get people who don't read comics to want to see the movie. And that looks ridiculous to them, understandably. You can't pause the movie and James Gunn comes in with an old comic and says, but this is what he looked like. It doesn't matter. And again, you know, it's one thing not to go to the beefcake route, but you don't have to go in the other direction. I think that Nathan Fillion and this hairstyle is perfect when it comes to Silver Age, but that is not the Guy Gardner that anybody thinks of today. And so, this isn't the MCU Guy Gardner you would get. You would get a Guy Gardner who still had a somewhat silly haircut, but was still very effable. And although I'm sure someone's like, looks great to me. And so that's just the difference. And I was surprised for all the things that James Gunn is borrowing from Marvel, including the freaking logo. That's amazing. That's one lesson that he just maybe refuses to or won't accept. But yet it's such a clear lesson. All right.
Grace Randall's got ranked
They
on
have
by
officially
gun fans. Fans left when Snyder wasn't there. Exactly. Everyone's talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League and the hype was real. Even many critics that loved to hate on Zack for clicks loved the Snyder Cut. Yet Warner Brothers took a shit on fans yet again. Not just the fans, the audience. And they still wonder why nobody cares about DC. Restore the Snyderverse. Fans are campaigning for the Snyderverse to be completed by Justice League director Zack Snyder, allowing him to finish his DC Extended Universe plan. Yep. It actually wasn't a million tweets. It was 1.5 million, showing you that it was beyond the fans. It was now mainstream. Why are the two producers who single-handedly destroyed the DCU overseeing a project that's much better than anything they can create? Doesn't Matt Reeves have full creative control over the Batman epic crime saga? The movie is not part of the DC universe built by Gunn and DC partner Peter Safran, although they are helping to oversee the project. Man, Sammy, I wish I could answer that question, but truth be told, these people change the goalposts all the time. I'm pretty sure that Matt Reeves had assurances that he would not be anytime soon connected to the DCU. He was doing something separate. I thought he was an Elseworlds thing. And apparently now things are changing and Gunn is trying to force him to have Michael Patterson released to the DCU, which is just fucked up. So there's a war going on in the background there between Matt Reeves and James Gunn. And James Gunn doesn't seem to care at all. He just wants to have his thing going. He wants to make sure his thing is successful. He doesn't give a fuck about the rest of the DCU or the DCEU or other DC projects. So, James Gunn has been very destructive. And his movie's going to fail. It's going to flop. And it's not that I like saying that. It's just the guy's not a good person at all. And two, the way how he has been handling DC has hurt the fans of DC fans in every which way you could think of. And he's going to put out a movie that even the purest DC haters, the Snyder haters and stuff, they're going to actually scratch their heads as they watch the movie because, well, they'll see for themselves. I'm not going to say no more about that. This looks like a parody. I'm sorry. This is General Rob, ladies and gentlemen. The most comic book accurate Batman. See Sonic the Hedgehog 3, copying Superman's great movements. This is the appearance of Darkseid and Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's a lot of good stuff here. Exclusive Gal Gadot reveals she suffered a massive blood clot in her brain during her pregnancy earlier this year in February, which required her to have emergency surgery. All I wanted was to hold on and live. I don't care what anybody says, this movie is freaking awesome. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition, definitely. 100% I agree with that. Another hot take. I actually really dig the idea of the Olympians becoming descended from the ancient Kryptonians. One of my biggest Restore the Snyderverse dreams is Zach puts that and Bruce Lewis romance back in and tells everyone, deal with it. All right, so actually, if you read Forever People, which is Jack Kirby's first work at DC, actually, let me see if I can pull it up. I'm going to show you guys something because I think you guys are going to really enjoy this little bit of education about DC here. Let me see what I got first. Okay, this was Electra. Okay, cool. So all you got to do is Google. I'm going to show you guys something. Comics Online. Read Comics Online. You can get that. It has a little pop-up, so you have to watch out for that. But Forever People. It is 1971. So Forever People. This here is Forever People. I'm just going to kind of try to get that out the way there. All right, so this is it has 11 issues. I'm going to show you guys something actually that's interesting. I'm going to go through issue number 1. 1 second here. This is Forever People, issue number 1, okay? I had that. Okay. All right, so I want to show you guys something, okay? So Superman's like, wait, this is my only chance to find my own kind. My own kind. You must tell me how to reach Supertown. All right. Try the boom tube if you dare. Okay. Now I thought this was kind of crazy when Superman's Kryptonian. Okay. Superman's Kryptonian, and he's talking about my own people. Help me find Supertown. Supertown is a place on New Genesis. When you read this comic, as you start to read the comic, you're going to find out, you'll see High Father and all of that. And you'll see that these guys here, these characters here, they come from Supertown. They're Supertown people, also known as Forever People. And they come from New Genesis. So when Zack Snyder postulates that maybe the Olympians had actually been descended from the ancient Kryptonians, that's not too far of a stretch. If you think that Superman, who is a Kryptonian, is talking about family in Supertown, which is New Genesis, which is where the new gods are, Jack Kirby new gods, that they may be actually Kryptonians, may be actually descendants from New Genesis that went and repopulated another area, just like how these Forever People here went through a boom tube and came to Earth. So I'm just saying, it ain't that far-fetched and far removed that the ancient Olympians could have actually came from Krypton, and maybe they even came from New Genesis, you know, if you really backtrack it a little bit more. So I'm just saying, you know, that it's not that far-fetched. And the fact that Zach could kind of reintegrate, you know, because if Superman is talking about he has family or people, his people could be in New Genesis, which would be Supertown. I mean, that's not Kirby did it in the comics. He connected the Kryptonians to basically the new gods. Well, why can't Zach connect the Kryptonians to the old gods as well? Maybe all these so-called gods that we're talking about, they all came from the same place. Maybe they all came from New Genesis or wherever they came from, right? Or maybe from Krypton, but the Kryptonians probably came from New Genesis. I'm just saying. All right, now, let's keep it moving.
This year and a half has really uncovered so we were blind to.
the way the world truly works and just what we're up against as people. I call this moment the last stand a lot because it made us question everything. What kind of world is this? What kind of world do we live in? What kind of world do we deserve to live in? This past year and a half had us questioning, why is the US funding a televised genocide? Why are the Arab governments doing nothing? How is the US controlling them? How is it okay that 750,000 Palestinians were expelled and 500 villages wiped out and killed and their homes taken over for the creation of Israel? How is that okay that that is how Israel was created? Why was Israel created? Why do Western imperial powers continue to support this colonial state? What land am I on? Who was killed here? Who was expelled here? Whose home am I living on? What happened to all the indigenous Native Americans that were living here? And why, for the Native Americans that survived, why were they given land to build casinos instead of farmland? Speaking of farmland, why is Monsanto the largest pesticide company owned by a pharmaceutical company? And how are they making billions of dollars poisoning us? And those who don't want to be poisoned have to pay double the price for food that is organic. Why? How is it humane that your medical history is considered a pre-existing condition in America? Why is it the literal business model of health insurance companies to make sure patients don't get coverage? And how are they using AI and all sorts of other methods to make sure profits are high and investors are wealthy and CEOs are paid? How is it that thousands of Americans die a year because of insufficient medical coverage? Thousands of Americans die every year because of school shootings, concert shootings, police shootings, and yet the death of one person, the CEO of a company, is on the cover of every news outlet. Who is the Hannibal Lecter here? Truly, I'm asking, who is the monster here? The system that's killing thousands of people a year at home and thousands of people a year in and over their place? Or is he the monster? Is this the monster that Hollywood has sold you this whole time? Is he the monster? We've seen the monster. We've seen the one behind the lifted hands to stop a ceasefire of a televised genocide. How is it that the whole world can vote for a ceasefire and yet one country, the United States, can veto against it? And for that to be the law. How can the ICC call for the arrest warrants of war criminals and for the United States to not just ignore the arrest warrants, but to threaten to sanction the very United Nations body that they themselves were behind creating? Why? Why do the rest of the countries not matter? Why is it that Congo, one of the most resource-rich countries in the world, is one of the most poorest countries in the world? And why are the hands of those who are mining for the materials made to power the phone that I'm recording on and the phone that you're watching on, the hands of children who will never see an iPhone? How did it become this way? What have we done? What are we doing? I refuse to believe that this is the world that we want. And I believe most people who are awake to what's happening do not want this and that they want change. So in this coming new year, we may not have all the answers, but it all starts with asking questions and with living your life in good conscience and knowing that how you treat your family, how you treat your neighbors, how you treat your friends, where you spend your money, how you raise your voice, where you spend your energy, and knowing that we may not be able to change everything now, but you are doing everything you can to make this world a world that is awake, a world that is humane, and a world that is better for us all. Happy New Year. And inshallah next year, a free Palestine and a free world for us all.
It's the hope of all of us, I gotta say. I'm not trying to...
This year and a half has really
I'm not
covered
even trying to front. That's the hope. How the journey actually happens is going to be crazy. But what we do know is we know the truth now. There are no lies. A lot of people in power, and right now we have a state of emergency supposedly for crime, but I believe the state of emergency is for crooked individuals to do more crookedness and to sort of, again, keep us in shackles with a state of emergency is the suspension of all your rights as citizens. So some real bullshit could go down today. And I don't know what bullshit they're trying to cover for, but I believe it's a lot of bullshit. And then once that state of emergency is there, that's what they'll continue to do. What I can say to you guys is this. This has happened in my country, and I don't like it. I don't like that these people are calling for state of emergencies. That also happened in South Korea. That's a suspension of rights. The government and whoever can do whatever the fuck they want to do in your country when your rights are suspended. But, of course, if the people don't accept that, then we can have an all-out clash and war. But this is some bullshit. Anyway, it's raining outside, so I can't do anything. I can't go do commerce. I can't do anything. So it is what it is. The Israelis always intended to destroy Gaza from life to life. From home to buildings to nothingness. A dead wasteland by Israeli engineered design. And you can see them hard at work doing that right now. With their tanks and so on. Amnesty International says Israel has gone full genocidal. I also agree. There's some jokes here. Movies and games related says not the same people that be calling Zach Energy edgy for years are eating this shit up. I can't make this up. And just look at Creature Commandos here. Just bloodied 2 soldiers, destroyed the tanks. The person seeing this says, nah, this caught me off guard. And he's laughing. This is the same clowns that was calling it the Murderverse, Snyder's Murderverse, and all this bullshit. Now you're lapping this shit up. The hypocrisy of these guys. As a huge Superman fan, I jumped out of my seat at this moment. The way the music swells before he appears. Yeah, the appearance of Superman while they were discussing him. Bringing him back from the dead. It's great stuff. Last Son says, man, DC must be running out of money or something. Yeah, it's like a cosplay. This is hilarious. I want you guys to listen.
It's very dignified. Ready? En 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've done this, it's so much easier. You got me. I didn't know the thing really fell down. Run two. Ready? Okay. It's like real life. I can't. Good. Ready? I just pulled on. Here's Batman. All right. Oh, look, this is the Rock'em Robot thing.
That's funny. Batman fell down every single time. Hollywood actress Angelina Jolie accuses world leaders of complicity in crimes in Gaza. 100% Angelina is right. She is 100% correct. Not only is she correct, the fact that they are trying to block people, they're trying to conceal the truth, shows how complicit they are. And that involves the media, that involves the heads of state of certain countries, particularly the United States, Germany, the UK. They're extremely complicit in this. And we know that. I always wondered why World War II, not World War II, the Nazis were able to do what they did to the Jews back in the late 1930s to the 1940s. It's because of complicitness. Europe was complicit in that. Okay? So, yeah. This is what I'm saying right now. And the way for this to stop is the people have to rise up. And fuck the governments. Fuck y'all. We put you in charge and you did not do your job, so we're going to take it back. And we're going to take over control. That's what has to happen. And these kinds of people, they don't hear. They have to feel. What we're doing to Warner Brothers Studios right now, they're feeling just how we feel about things. Okay? And they're going to hurt, and they're going to hurt heavily. Because there's no way I'm paying any money for the trash that they're putting out there. Similarly, you don't, if you know that any business or organizations are involved with Israel, do not fund them, do not give them money, do not give Starbucks your money, do not give any company that is affiliated with Israel in any way, especially with the occupation, do not give them money and shame them There's so many different ways to do it. You can do it online through social media. You can also do it offline in your protests and stuff. But I'm just saying that's what you have to start doing. And also, you need to start hunting down the companies that are actually selling arms to Israel or delivering or shipping arms to Israel. And then you need to solicit the powers that be to file injunctions to stop them and to freeze their assets. And this can be done in the localized way. Of course, you have to form with NGOs and big backers. You'll need somebody who has a lot of money to back you to go all the way if there's to be a court case or whatever. But those people are around and they don't like what's happening. So you're going to have a lot of support in that respect. But you need to step on the gas. I'm seeing bits and pieces of these things, but I'm seeing a lot of protests, and protests are cool. But protests are a lot of words and sounds and music, and that's all well and good. But protests by themselves can't do anything. You have to use teeth. BDS movement is the best movement out there. And again, these movements must not be stopped. What I mean by that is, whether governments make these movements illegal or not, their law is not stronger than the law of the people, the common law of mankind. If their draconian laws are put in place to back genocide, you stomp down those fucking laws, you say fuck them, and you keep doing the right thing. What is justice? Civil disobedience will be put into play from there on in. We are the majority. We just have to waken up, most of us, because some of us are indifferent to what's happening because they don't understand the relevance of what's happening, how big it is. And we have to stomp these people down. They think they have power and clout, but they're human beings just like us. They shit, they breathe, they die the same way we do. And therefore, as a result of that, we need to go at them with full force. Their numbers are nowhere compared to ours. They can protect themselves because they have access to resources a lot more than we do. But ultimately, in the end, we can overrun them easily, because they exist among us. We can overrun them if we needed to. But that's not what we want. We don't want a mob mentality. We want to systematically take them out using the rules that are set there already. And that's what we need to do. So that's what you guys should be doing. You should be doing it heavily, as well as myself. I try to hold out my end of the bargain. Zack Snyder shouldn't make superhero films. The illimitable Lupe says you shouldn't be so dumb, but here we are. Morgan says, man, I love Man of Steel. This is peak Cape Ship, and fuck anyone who calls it boring. Yeah, this is pretty cool right here, where he goes up against General Zod. Zack Snyder's badass Amazons. Something else in Man of Steel. I wish I could remember which YouTube video I saw this in. But I remember coming across one where a guy had a different interpretation of General Zod's death. Basically, that Zod is using Superman to end his own life. Yeah, well, General Zod didn't have a reason to live from there on in, so he was just going sociopathically on a rampage, He lost his reason, his purpose, so he was just going to be super destructive from there on in. Imagine Reverse Flash being there, right? We got that already. There's Reverse Flash again. If DC gets sold to Universal, I hope they not only restore the Snyderverse, but also make it up to some actors who WB threw under the bus. There's still too many stories to tell before Darkseid arrives. That might be so. Actually, no, I don't think there's a lot of stories to tell before Darkseid arrives. Fuck that. We're going straight into Darkseid arrives, okay? You can fuck yourself as far as I'm concerned, Sammy. We are going straight into... I don't want to hear no shit. I want to see Superman. I want to see Zack Snyder Justice League sequels. So you can fuck around and want other things. I want that, okay? So that's the first priority for me. As for like other people who may want to see, of course, the Batfleck movie, we want to see that. A Henry Cavill Superman movie, that's cool. But first and foremost, before now, I don't want no fucking around. Go straight to Zack Snyder's Justice League. You know what I'm saying? I don't fucking with that. That's how it has to go. Yeah. So I just wanted you to see the responses to this. So Phyllis from Brazil says, the family was hoping not to die by Zod's hands, and Superman fulfilled that hope by saving them. Next. Now, just for the record, this is what people actually say. Superman literally could have flew Zod back into outer space. So Christian Ray is saying that Superman somehow wasn't in control of Zod. He finally gets control of Zod. He's pinning him down. You know, he's locked his neck with both hands, and he's pinning him down on the ground. But now, somehow, Superman has not been able to do this before, but he's going to do it this time. He's going to just fly Zod out of there into outer space. First of all, Zod punched him into outer space, then punched his ass back down to Earth. The fuck is this person saying? You see, this is the kind of stupidity we have to deal with every day. First of all, Superman would have to take Zod out of the lock and then fly him out into outer space. Okay? And once he takes Zod out of the lock, Zod can do even more damage than he's been doing to the people. He could get the heat ray everybody in his sight. Not thinking, motherfucker. You're not thinking. You're just talking. Knee-jerk reactions. Joystick says, no, I disagree. If he's strong enough to do that, he's strong enough to knock Zod out and put his hand in front of him. First of all, motherfucker, he's in a headlock. So I'm going to break the headlock to try to push my hand in front of your eyes, which can burn my fucking hands off. Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, no thought. These people are so stupid. He did not break the headlock. He snapped his neck. But if he didn't hold him in a headlock, he'd have done burned everybody. He would have been burning people randomly inside of that fucking, that's a terminal area where you go down into the subway. That's what there is. It's a public area. So Superman was able to minimize the damage that he was doing because he had his head in a fucking headlock, you dumb fucks. Mr. Doom, Google is such an easy tool to use, I swear, man. These guntards are the most annoying, stupid fans. Has Superman ever killed anyone in the comics? Yes, Superman killed 3 fellow Kryptonians in John Byrne's run. Yes, he killed Zod before in the comics. A lot of people complain about this, like Superman had to make a choice. Mind you, he already said Krypton had its chance before. The Phantom Zone, him and Zod was throwing hands while it was activated. This only leads to one way, Cal. Either you kill me or I kill you, Zod. Yeah, so it's like spelled out in the movie already. And he literally reached into a situation where it was either Zod was going to burn those people to fucking Christ come, or Superman had to snap his neck. He didn't have any other thing. He tries to fly Zod up in the air. Zod frees up, and Zod starts kicking his ass. Zod was kicking his ass. What is wrong with these people? And then on top of that, Zod would be able to now laser, like heat vision, just about anyone and anything. Because at that point in time, Zod couldn't move his neck like he wanted to. He was fighting Superman. He was in a headlock. Okay? Now, Superman breaking that fucking headlock means Zod can shoot laser rays any way he wants to. People fleeing, the people pinned in areas. I mean, it just makes no fucking sense what these dumbasses be saying. I mean, how stupid could you be? I mean, god damn, man. Anyways, so I don't know. These people just, they're not thinking. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these people. Yuri says, by how they were standing there, I think they were hoping to die. No, they froze in fear. You know, you either run, you have a fight or flight hormones called adrenaline. So what happens is some people, as you saw in the film, if you watched it, were running, trying to run away. Okay, since Superman smashed into the wall thing and then came down with Zod, they were running away. And some people were just standing there frozen in fear. Like shit, some people get petrified. That means to become stone. They get so scared that they can't move. And some people, it triggers them to run. That family, just like any normal human being would react in their range of emotions, froze. Okay? And they were going to get fried. And they were pinned in a corner too, so they couldn't go anywhere. Could have done what you said without killing Zod. Nope. That was an impossibility. He had to kill him. That was the only way he could stop him. You have to break the guy's neck. You have him in a lock. And the only thing left, and you pinned him on the ground. So it's like he's pinned into position. The way you're positioned on the ground. You lose that position. Anybody who knows any kind of comeback of any kind, knows once you change your position, now you weaken your stance. And from there on in, Zod would have more range of motion, be able to do more things. Superman was wrestling Zod into position and locking him into position. He still could use his heat vision. Superman can control that. So the only thing left to do was snap his fucking neck. There's no other move there. None. Fly him into outer space. No, dummy. Can't fly him, not in that position. Superman can just fly him out of there. And he would break free, and then he's gonna kick Superman's ass, possibly kill Superman. Because somebody was gonna die. Zod had already thrown out the gauntlet. Somebody was gonna die. Dead internet theory that Snyderverse movies are bad. He executed Zod in the comics too. It doesn't matter. The point is he didn't have an option. His options were let Zod incinerate the family while he's fighting him to try and keep his neck in place, or kill him. And not kill him in any other means but by breaking his neck. There was no other way. He couldn't kill him by stabbing him because his hands were occupied in the clinch and the lock. He couldn't kill him by launching him into something because if he was to leap up in the sky, Zod would break free. Zod tactically was having the advantages. Superman got the advantage when they went through the building. He was able to gain an advantage over Zod, but Zod's a fucking soldier. He's tactical. It was a matter of time before Zod started dominating Superman. It was a matter of time. Didn't have to kill him. That's bullshit. False, he had to kill him. It was the only option. Yep. And not just kill him by snapping his neck. There was no other way. Like he wasn't going to be able to kill him any other way. Gross. Seeing Superman act like Steven Seagal in Under Siege is possibly the most cringe action film moment of modern age. Burn this absolutely like a turd down. It should be erased from history books. That's funny, seeing that, again, this person is just acting out of illogic. He's acting out of emotions. Okay? The scenario was what it was. So telling me seeing Superman act like this, you're just telling me your feelings, which I don't give a fuck about. Fuck your feelings. Okay? Fuck your feelings. Because you are trying to persuade me that is gross. It wasn't gross to me. Okay? Was it devastating? Absolutely. Is it devastating to Superman? Absolutely. But it was absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. And so just speaking out your emotions really means absolutely nothing to me. It just shows how stupid and infantile you are. Shinsu says lazy writing. That's not lazy writing at all. That's as challenging as the writing gets, because it's going through something that's controversial. It's going through something that's it's very difficult for people to process. And clearly your dumb ass don't know what lazy writing is. Lazy writing is a cop-out writing. Cupping out, not taking the hard decision, the hard choice, making the character have to go through a hard decision, a hard choice. That's not fucking lazy writing, you dumb fuck. Phantom Zone could easily have been used. No, dummy, because the Phantom Zone was gone, you dumb fuck. Snyder wanted him to commit murder, he said it himself. Superman did not commit murder. You dumb fuck. So it's how stupid these people are, you know? Jam Frog says, personally, I call it a bit of lazy writing. Again, just another dumb fuck, not knowing what he's saying, just throwing words out there. Lazy writing gives you what is called suspension of reality. And then you cup out. This is not cup out writing. This is writing which faces up to reality and says sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do in order for justice to be done. So this is as challenging as a writing could be. In fact, it's not only challenging as writing, it's also now leads to what we get. Assholes like you not knowing how to deal with controversy, and the fact that the outcome is not what you wanted or expected. Speaking what they're saying, the fact that a director had the balls to operate in integrity as to how he best thought the ending should be, and you dumb fucks being very predictable and just giving the lashback on it, shows that he was willing to risk getting lashed back for that. And Superman in that movie also taking the risk of having that blowback on him. And there was a lot of blowback in BVS on Superman for working to help mankind rid themselves of the Kryptonians. If the Kryptonians had their way, it would have been mass genocide. And just one General Zod could contribute such devastating damage to the world. It wouldn't be surprising, as clearly Superman just trying to stop him proved. So it's so weird to hear brain dead ass fucks say these kinds of stupid shit. It really annoys the crap out of me, because I know you should be an adult. You should be thinking like a fucking adult. Instead, you're thinking like a fucking child who's throwing a tantrum because the outcome is something that you did not expect or necessarily want, you know? So I don't like, and none of it is logical. This is the problem. You know, if you're a mature individual, at least you would come from a logical perspective. Nothing here is logical, okay? It's all purely emotions from always some, as Zack Snyder would say, butthurt fanboy who feels he knows what Superman is. Sort of Ryo says, it makes sense. Zod didn't give Clark enough time to restrain him properly. This is Clark's first week as Superman, and Zod's psychological education from Krypton prevented him from accepting integration with another people. Yep. And it was going to end the way how the movie said it was going to end. Zod said, I'm killing you or you killing me, but it's going down, baby. You know? And he said it, man. He said, I'm going to take all these humans you adopted, I'm going to take them from you one by one. You know? Because he had nothing to live for no more. Krypton was gone. Also, it wasn't just about the family. It was all about humanity. Soup's begging him to stop. And that quiet never was him saying, I won't stop till all humanity is dead. And there was no kryptonite that he knew or was aware of. The ship was damaged. What else could he do? And he had him in a lock. So he had him in a lock, and still Zod resisted the lock by starting to incinerate the fucking wall. And he's coming at the family. He's inching into the family. Superman got his head in the headlock, but still, he's still inching in. So this motherfucker's not going to stop until everybody's dead. And he was determined to do that. And if he could take out Superman, great. Then he could take out the whole fucking earth. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what these dumbasses are saying. These brain dead idiots are saying. The whole point of the Superman story is to find a better ending than what the villain wants. Well, no, because in a Batman story with the Dark Knight, which was one of the pinnacle stories of Batman, Joker got exactly what he wanted. I could think of so many Superman stories where Lex Luthor got what he wanted. Okay, so to say the whole point of a Superman story is to find a better ending than what the villain wants? No. What the villain wants, if you can get the villain to actually accomplish what he wants, that makes it a formidable villain. That's what you want. You want a movie that actually sort of kind of semi gets you the perspective of the villain and then shows how powerful the villain is by the villain getting what he wants. I don't understand what, you know. Now, Zod didn't get what he wanted, so I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Not for the thousands of people before, but for 4 individuals. Lamau, after demolishing half of Metropolis, well, they tried their best to stop Zod. You can't stop Zod. Zod's, he was destroying quite a lot of stuff. There's nothing you can do about that. You just have to keep on going. That's like saying, Israel's right now destroying most of Gaza, and nobody's containing them, and then call the people who are not containing them, even though we're trying very hard for it to stop, calling them clowns. That's like being a fucking asshole again. Worst scene ever in the Superman movie. Nothing but lazy writing. Again, just another emotional outburst. No real facts backing it up. Just a lot of adjectives. Pretty sure the family died. That explains why he reacted the way he did. Nope, the family did not die. They got preserved. Their lives were saved. Everybody who keeps saying Phantom Zone didn't watch the movie. Superman didn't even know what the Phantom Zone was or how to access it until his dead dad told him. Besides that, the equipment that was needed to put them into the Phantom Zone already had been used. Zod was able to escape that because he was in the same craft as Superman, which crashed. So he had not gone back to the Phantom Zone. They didn't have any more equipment to carry them back to the Phantom Zone. Should have used the Phantom Zone. Are you being a fucking asshole? The ship that they used to create that Phantom Zone and suck everybody in had been used. They had nothing else. Revolver. Man, you just got these assholes who just, like, they don't watch a movie. They didn't watch the movie or something. I don't know what. So when Superman threw Zod through buildings, killing hundreds, it's okay because it's off screen. Didn't kill anybody. Literally, you can track Superman going through those buildings and you will see he didn't kill anyone. So that's just a lie. It's amazing how often he's done that without killing anyone for several decades. But Superman is the one asshole who couldn't figure it out. I'm not sure what you mean by that, because Superman killed General Zod on screen in the second Superman movie. He not only killed General Zod, he killed Nuclear Man. Yes, he's killed quite a bunch of people. Yes, he killed Nuclear Man. He also killed a darkened version of himself. Superman has killed a lot of people on screen, but you just don't acknowledge it because you don't have any sense of Superman's history. He also killed in the comics as well. And that's not surprising, but he's killed a lot of people in the comics. Arik Draven says, as a fan of Superman since 79, at 4 years old, comic movies, TV shows, cartoon shows, animated movies, I still love watching this movie. One of my favorite takes on Superman so far, beaten only by Christopher Reeve himself, who never been topped in my opinion, of course. I agree. I have also been watching Superman as long as you have, or probably a little longer. And me personally, as a DC fan, I think this was quite an in-depth dive into Superman. This is why I like Man of Steel and BVS and then Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's a really good dive into him that we see aspects of him that we didn't see before. And I think that's what makes Zack and Terrio and what the fuck is his name? Christopher Nolan and what the hell is his name? But the man who did Blade and all of that, him, the writer, I think their efforts were really great. It was a fantastic storytelling. And to hear people say this is bad storytelling or this is bad this, I know they're just speaking out their ass, and sometimes you just want to slap them, but they're stupid, you know what I mean? I think this scene works better if instead of 20 minutes of city destruction, we see more real evil side of it did trying to kill people. I'm not sure what the fuck you mean. Superman stopping him again and again, but starting to realize I won't stop and knowing he has no ultimate choice. First of all, this is not a seasoned fucking Superman. Second of all, that battle that you saw, thank God people weren't as much involved. A lot of people would have died. Zod was punching Superman up into buildings. He was, I mean, the shit was crazy. So, you know, for you guys to even say stupid stuff like that, there should have been more people there. What the fuck? You didn't have enough disaster, didn't have enough damage, you dumbass. I mean, come on, man. Y'all don't even know what you want. Oh, yeah, he could have put his hands over his eyes while he's holding him in a chokehold. What, he's growing hands to do that job? Plus, that doesn't guarantee shit. I said it before, I'll say it again. People who cannot stand a Superman story where he's under hardships are yearning for a movie about Superman saving cats stuck on trees. And God forbid Superman be under a strenuous situation ever. You know what I'm saying? They're like fairy tales. He could have flown. He could have pushed. They're equally strong. It's basically a tug of war. Neither would have moved. So snapping Zod's neck was unfortunately the only way, based on the film's context. He could have flown. No, he couldn't have. He could have pushed. No, he couldn't have. They're equally strong. Yeah, Superman was wrestling. He pinned Zod down finally. And Zod was still able to shoot heat vision out of his eyes. And he was inching towards the family because Superman was fighting him. Keep him from doing that. Oh yeah, Superman killed Zod in the classics. And he wasn't under duress to kill him. He just killed him. After he depowered Zod, he killed him, which is fucked up. So because of that dun, 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 music in it, people accepted it. You know, whereas the other music was distressing that Superman had to kill Zod. So, you know, people are stupid. Like I said before, they're really, really stupid. The whole point of Superman is that he has the power of a god. No, that's not the whole point of Superman. In fact, in Man of Steel, there are a number of Supermen in that movie. He can do whatever he wants. No, I disagree. Ruling Earth and killing would be easy. Yes, but that's not the point. But he chooses to protect people. He has values. He's always found another way. He'll never kill or instill. First of all, he'll never kill. Don't be a fucking asshole. Because he's killed already. He inspires hope. Yes. He doesn't instill fear. Generally, no. So he does instill fear in criminals at times. By threatening them. You go and watch the Golden Era. You go and watch the Silver Era. Superman sometimes threatens people. But chooses to protect people. And that's what he was doing when he snapped Zod's neck. He was protecting the family. You dumb fuck. Major plot hole. Turned his head the other way. Fly him away. Cover his eyes. Super speed the family away. Motherfucker, General Zod can move as fast as Superman. What the fuck are you talking about? Speed his family away. Tell the family to move away from the beam. Where are they going to go, you dumb fuck? It was the beam, and then it was a staircase. They're not going on the staircase. They're backed into the staircase by the beam. What the fuck are you talking about? Major plot hole. Turn his head the other way. Motherfucker, he's wrestling his fucking head. His head is in a fucking headlock. He's fighting him to keep his head away from the family. You dumb fuck. Fly him away. How are you going to fly him away and you pinned him down? If you try to fly him away, you're going to loosen your grip on him, and then he's going to have the upper hand again. And you don't want to see Zod with the upper hand. You dumb fuck. Cover his eyes. Oh, I'm going to put my hands over a flame and just see if my hands will survive. I need to sacrifice my hands for the family. Sacrifices his hands for the family. Now he can't fight Zod. Zod has the upper hand. Zod kicks his ass, kills him, and then kills everybody in the world. You dumb fuck. Save me, podcast. I mean, I know this is a goof that doesn't matter, but still, I think it's funny that Soup twists his Zod's heads toward the family, which means they would have been lasered to death before the beam stopped. Sounds like some shit that would happen in The Boys. No, he didn't. Go watch it again. Obviously, you do not know martial arts. Cole, now in mental. He could have flown up. No, he couldn't. He could have knocked Zod unconscious. No, he couldn't. I had to kill him takes away from the fact that Superman can do anything. What the fuck does that even mean? Dummy? It's the stupidity of these people. You know, they just... Okay, I'm going to shit all over this paper now. Let me just run a watery shit all over the paper. Because you don't have facts. Okay? You got a guy in a pin and you pin him down. You have your foot around his feet. I'm going to try and flap in the sky and lose my grip on him? My grip on him is as a result of gravity and my force putting down on him. I mean, how stupid could you be? Did people expect the family to do the Congo line? And you know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying? This just tells you have no idea who Superman is. Next. Yeah, but you do? You do, dumbass? This was a great scene. Superman did all he could to stop Zod, who obviously was never going to relent. This had to happen. Zod was too powerful, yes, and it would have been dangerous to the planet as long as he drew breath. I agree. And that's common sense. But apparently, a lot of these people suspend their common sense and get covered over with emotion and start to suggest some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. But it's typical Warner Brothers, you know. When you think about it, even when it's bots or drones, they always saying some kind of out of place, left field shit that makes no fucking sense in the world. He was clearly strong enough to overpower Zod, so was he? So why were they fighting then? If Superman was beating up Zod at every turn, how did Superman even get into outer space with Zod? Zod didn't grab his shit, throw him through buildings, then punch him up into the sky and out into the outer atmosphere and then punch him back down to Earth? He only got the upper hand against Zod. Zod was kicking his ass. He only got the upper hand on Zod because Zod went through a building. And when they were going through the building, I guess probably disrupted him from whatever he was doing. And Superman got the upper hand on him. Okay? And Zod was only getting stronger and he was only getting better. So I don't know what the hell these people are talking about. He was begging that man to stop so it wouldn't come to that. Exactly. That's why he said stop. What do you think? Dude said fly up. Man, shut the... These dummies would rather Zod destroy the entire human race than have Supes do what's necessary. You know what I'm saying, bro? They sound like stupid, stupid people. Stupid. Superman tried flying and beating up Zod while he was flying. He got his ass kicked. Why would he give away his advantage and his leverage on Zod as he has him pinned down? Why would he do that? Should have terraformed Mars. Superman would have happily given the Codex DNA. Roll credits. That's hilarious. Southern Company had no reason to go to Mars. Everything they needed was already on Earth where they were. So kill humans and face resistance with Superman. If they had asked him for his Codex DNA and promised that they would go away, then the movie would have no plot. Supes should have given Zod the ideas instead of killing everyone's foundation has to be built on something BS. Exactly. Could have coexisted somewhat. Yes, they expected Cal to align with his own race, not humans. They didn't give two fucks about humans. They asked him for the Codex, and they also had no reason to promise to go away. They felt that they were in the position of power to dictate the terms. Zod was the ranking officer. This is true. Oh my God. Our foundation has to be built on something, Superman. Go to Mars. No human death. Zero resistance from humans and me. Supes. I'll also help with the Codex stuff. Supes' dad. Go to Mars instead of genocide. Zod agrees. Jor-El tells Zod Codex location. Superman doesn't have any right or claim to Mars to be offering it. Go murders those other guys, not humans, lol. Zod doesn't see humans as a resistance to a superior race. Superman doesn't know where the Codex is to put it up as a bargaining chip. Can't earn trust without knowledge. Well, Superman would have to get peace of himself, obviously. Some of his Kryptonian cells would have served to have the Codex in them, so you'd have to give some of his blood. I think they already had it. They had Superman's blood. They took his blood, so the Codex was there already. That's why they didn't care. They could have killed Superman. So Drig22 says some dumb shit. Personally, that's just from someone incapable of thinking at the speed of light like he can. I would have put my hand over his eyes and fucking knocked him out with a punch on the temple. Always works. First of all, Superman's not the only one who can think at the speed of light, you dumb fuck. All thoughts, their electromagnetic radiation, they move at the speed of light. Secondly, as to putting your hand over his eyes, what, you got a third hand or something, you dumb fuck? He's got his two hands occupied. How is he putting his hand over his eyes when he's in his chokehold? I'm fucking knocking him out with a punch on the temple. How are you getting to punch him? He's got super speed. Where are you getting a free hand to punch him on top of that? You dumb fuck. He literally didn't have to do that. Says the dumb fuck. Okay. Lazy writing to have him killed. No, dumb fuck. If it was lazy, you wouldn't be commenting here today with trumped up charges. It's harder to do something that's controversial than it is easier to do something that is easily digestible for everybody. So shut the fuck up. Plus, I would never have stopped. Thank you. People really get in their feelings, thank you, when a hero pushed his mental limit, does something out of character. That's what's happening. You're getting emotional responses. There's no fucking logic to what they're saying. No logic whatsoever. Okay, so I thought I'd go into all of that. And here is the last thing I'm going to show you guys, which I thought was crazy. When I saw it, I was like, what? For real? So the Oscar race says pick one. And you can see here of the choices, I'm just going to click on this. Hopefully I got there. Okay. Of the choices of these, you see you have Batman, you have Man of Steel, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Logan, The Dark Knight, and Avengers Infinity War, right? These are the choices. And you can only pick one movie that you want to watch. Check this shit out. I can't even believe what I saw. Because I picked Man of Steel. Well, Man of Steel there. Some people said Batman. There's Man of Steel again. There's Man of Steel below that. There's Man of Steel again. 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 Got a little break coming. And guess what that is? Man of Steel again. Steals the show here, hands down. Man of Steel again. As a DC Comics fan, I had to choose these two films, The Dark Knight and Man of Steel, to highlight together. Man of Steel again. I was kind of shocked, actually. You got some Infinity War there going, and then Man of Steel. Man of Steel is mentioned here. Top three, Dark Knight, Logan, and Man of Steel, if we're being real. Man of Steel again. Got some Logan in there. Infinity War. Logan again. Infinity War and The Dark Knight. 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 Batman. You got a lot of Batman fans. I'm not going to lie. That's Warner Bros. Is known for the Batman stuff. That's been their most successful DC character. Man of Steel, but the others are great as well. Get some Batman stuff here. Man of Steel. 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 No, that's not Man of Steel. Sorry about that. Man of Steel. Man of Steel. Man of Steel. Got a little Spider-Man going. Man of Steel. 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 You know, the Snyderverse is crazy, I'm telling you. Man of Steel. 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 This is Bill Pudding I'm talking about. Man of Steel is just very, very prevalent here. It's probably the most prevalent one in terms of answering. I just wanted to go through it so you guys could see. Not going to lie. Man of Steel, Winter Soldier, or Spider-Man 2. There's a little of Batman. Man of Steel, number one. And Man of Steel. He spelled Steel wrong. Man of Steel again. And you got a couple, Spider-Verse and stuff. And pick Man of Steel again. It's just crazy how prevalent it is. Man of Steel, Man of Steel. They finally do Avengers Infinity War. Man of Steel again. Man of Steel Claire's, says a guy. Man of Steel 100%. Man of Steel, Man of Steel, Man of Steel, Man of Steel. Somebody says definitely not Man of Steel. It's crazy. Man of Steel. You got some other things here. Man of Steel's the last one. So Man of Steel is just so prevalent here. I didn't expect that at all. I thought, there would be other people, other choices. But no, Man of Steel is probably the most popular choice in all of these, which is crazy. So this is pretty.
I'm gonna talk down to the DC fandom, but I kind of noticed something about you guys. I think you guys have a lot of fake outrage, and I'm saying that because I remember when everybody was mad at Henry Cavill's Superman for taking out Zod, and a lot of the DC fans, as of today, will say it's not in Superman's character to take a life, and I'm sitting here like, sure it isn't. But what's crazy is if you watched these two movies, I just want to know, what do y'all see? I just want to know, what do you guys see in these panels? You know what I'm saying? Because what's crazy is the only difference is that when Clark had his hands around Zod's neck, he was going to kill him. The only reason why he didn't is because Zod, his people pretty much had Lois Lane. So he let Zod go to protect her. The difference between this and this is that Clark was basically forced to do. He actually didn't want to take Zod out. He never wanted to take any of the Kryptonians out, but he didn't have a choice. It was either take them out or allow them to take out Earth and basically destroy all the humans. But he wanted to. And what's even crazier is he did. I don't think y'all remember the first live action. Bro was petty. He was very petty. Does nobody remember when basically Zod reached his hand out and Clark crushed it? Clark broke his hands. And after breaking his hands, bro grabs him by his shirt, picks him up. I want you to understand, Zod is human right now. He's a human being.
He's not human, but he has no
and he literally throws him down a hole. As a human, you die. You literally die for stuff like that. They all died. Every last one of them bought the dust. They all died. I think Lois got the last lick, and that's literally the only reason why baby girl died. But they all died in that movie. In all honesty, for the DC fans, not the fake ones, but the majority, I don't think y'all are real fans. I just don't think you're a real fan base if you really want to keep it 100. I just don't. Because the outrage you guys have for some of these characters, you didn't like the fact that, Ben Affleck Batman took a life, but that came out of a comic. Batman has taken life. Batman has been the reason thousands upon thousands of people have lost their lives. And what's crazy is DC and Warner Brothers have come out and said this. They've made whole shows where they pointed this out. But y'all are so upset about a no-kill rule that these characters should be pure. They're not pure. He killed 3 of them, broke his head, threw him down a hole. All he did was snap his neck. He's not Superman because he took a wife. Oh. And don't get me wrong, if you got HBO, you can watch all the old Bro was petty. He was petty. Cross him if you want to. He had no problem beating your ass. Even if you were human. Do y'all remember what he did to old boy at the diner? And all you had to do was walk away. I just personally think you guys are not a real fan base. Y'all get angry about things that these characters do in comic books. If you're a DC fan and you say Batman shouldn't kill, but you just glaze over the fact that it's Batman's fault. Thousands of people die in Gotham every day. And he's actually said that. Warner Brothers and DC have said that. But you have this made up reality about these characters that it just doesn't exist. It just literally doesn't exist. This Clark didn't just, break rules. Bro changed time. He was told by his father not to do so. But he turned back time because he could. He didn't care if it
So he goes on to say, gods could do whatever they want, which is I don't agree with. And Superman's not really a god. He's just from another planet. He's seen as a god on Earth, but he's not. This all this bullshit about Superman seen as a god on Earth. This is what Zack Snyder was trying to do. No, that's not what Zack Snyder was trying to do. Zack Snyder was trying to show Superman's humanity, that he'd been socialized as a human, so he had feelings like a human, felt the need to be accepted like a human, and sometimes felt, ostracized as a human, etc. So Zack wasn't even trying to focus on Superman as a god. He had godlike powers, but was he a god? No, he wasn't. He was just a normal guy trying to do the right thing. And he had certain abilities that he helped him to do that. So that's how Zack was actually portraying the character. But yeah, so this is one thing I disagree with him. He's saying like gods could do whatever they want. I disagree with that. Josh L says, then people thought that The Flash was going to make $1 billion because of all the superheroes featured, and it couldn't even make half of what BVS made. This is true again. Dave Dodger says, this film is never coming out, and y'all can thank James Gunn for that. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, James Gunn has been nothing but bad news for DC. He's not helped DC in any way with the brand. He's actually hurt the brand, if anything. And he's going to continue to hurt the brand as long as these stupid execs in DC feel that Marvel is the way to go. I've been using the Marvel formula for the longest while, and it has flopped heavily in DC. And it's going to flop again with James Gunn's movie. Okay, so I think I covered all of this other stuff. I'm just going to show you guys a little evolving news. How's that? You guys going to get a little tidbit from me because this is the last stream for the year. As you can see, this is the video that I'm supposed to be dealing with. I'm going to skip this guy for a minute. This is supporting Palestine. Okay, Gunn denies rumors that Jason Momoa will play Lobo in the new DC universe. I'll say we won't have an actor playing two different roles. The lying is exhausting. You know what I'm saying? He lied. Gunn is saying the senior editor of Entertainment Weekly misquoted Matt Reeves. Reeves is now gearing up for the next movie sequel. The script is finished. He confirms everyone is preparing to start production next year. He does tease that there is a period of time, part 2 will jump to after the first film and TV series. Oz does become one of the entry points into the movie, he adds. I can't tell you where it goes from there except to say that we're super excited about it. We don't know what that writer misconstrued to think the script was finished. So James Gunn put underneath there. He's implying that the senator and editor of Entertainment Weekly misquoted Matt Reeves. Looks like the Collider just gave erroneous information, which is very interesting. Jason Momoa has been officially cast as Lobo in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow in theaters on June 25th, 2026. So James Gunn lied about Jason Momoa not being Lobo. Zack Snyder should make DC films colorful and lighthearted with more jokes, just like the bright and fun Marvel. Nosferatu director Robert Eggers has no interest in making a comedy. Why the fuck would you want me to do that? There are things that I have, skills I have in. Exactly. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you, brother. Robert Eggers. You know. I will never forget what Jason did for the release of the Snyder Cut movement. He gave us so much hope back then, and I appreciate the hell out of him. With that said, using actors in DC cast by Snyder has no bearing on my interest with the DCU, which I have. Bro, I know. You don't have to tell me. I know. Same energy. Brian Cranston says people's fan cast for him as Lex Luthor were lazy casting. Thank you. I had a bald head. They go, Lex Luthor. It's like, come on. Let's think about this a little bit. Thank you very much, sir. That's lazy casting. Thank you. Same energy. I'm thinking people talk about lazy writing. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. All by Israel. His son was killed. He was injured, and now he is detained. Wow, these fucking people. President Trump threatens the European Union with major tariffs if they don't buy 4 times more expensive oil from them. I told European Union that they must make their tremendous deficit with the United States by the large-scale purchase of oil and gas. Well, here's the thing, Donald the asshole Trump. The people who will be experiencing those tariffs are Americans, you fuckface. You will be taxing them 4 times more for importing goods from foreign countries, you fucking idiot. You'll be taxing your own people. Oh, no new taxes. Fuck you, you stupid fuck. Carlos Digital says the bad reactions to Super L and the Batman debacle turn into January 30th announcement of Lobo as Moa's Lobo and filming of a project. Not looking too smooth over at DC Studios, unfortunately. Man, that flop fest is about to begin. I don't know why Jason got himself tangled up in that shit. Stop playing victim when we criticize James Gunn's DCU because you can't pretend you complained about the Snyderverse for 11 years. That's right. That's right. What if I told you that you had a better chance at the Snyderverse restored if you didn't pay to watch it? Yeah, first of all, Era Suicide Squad is not coming out. Another lie on the old belt of James Gunn. So Lobo was, I collected comics and I don't do so much anymore, but he was always my favorite. And I always wanted to play Lobo because I'm like, hello, it's the perfect role, he said. I mean, listen, if they call and ask me to play him, it's fucking yeah. I haven't received that call, so I don't want to put any fake news out there. But if they ever call me and ask me to play or ask me to audition, I'm there. That was Jason Momoa. James Gunn denies rumors that Jason Momoa will play Lobo in the new DC universe. That was in January of 2023. Jason Momoa was raging about that. As we saw, James Gunn said he would never do that, and he's done it. Israel must be stopped. Duh. Starting with its politicians, its soldiers, its settlers, and its ideological fanatics. We must save Palestinians from the depravity of the century. U.S. President Rappaport, Francis. Yeah, I mean, Albanese is doing what she's supposed to do. So I'm glad about that. But honestly, it's going to take the people and not the fucking governments. And the people need to, if you need to overthrow the governments over this issue. But quite frankly, the people need to take control now. And Mazing says, I didn't want to believe reports of baby freezing to death in Gaza this week. With so much misinformation in this war, I took a step back to wait for more clarity. Today, it was reported that a 40-year-old man died of hypothermia in Israel. And there you go. Man of Steel, BBS, Zack Snyder's Justice League, rewatch calling to me like the Green Goblin's mask. There isn't a single war in the history that has 90% of all casualties on one side. This is true. This photo of children in Gaza in today's New York Times should haunt Biden and company forever. They won't, they ain't got no soul. They enable this genocidal nightmare to continue because they want it. What part of that do you not understand, buddy? They want that. That's why it's happening. It wouldn't happen if they didn't want it. I think it also bears repeating how much Wonder Woman is on the same wavelength as Man of Steel in terms of pacing, and they both really hit the ground running. I like my superhero movies the way I do, my action flicks, economical, and Man of Steel and Wonder Woman both nailed it. Yeah, for sure. Good morning, X-Fam. I did it. I got my butt up, and with your help and motivation, so thank you. So the advice is accepted. I appreciate it. Questions. I tend to drink coffee in the morning. Should I replace it, or am I fine to continue drinking it? I use sugar-free creamer in it for reference. Nice. Keep going, my brother. One step closer to proper health. I would like to state that BBS is not a complex movie. It's just that the writing is deeply sophisticated thanks to Chris Terrio. But the whole movie is very easy to understand and easy to grasp. But it was made unnecessarily complex because of a childish, unwarranted hatred. Yes, correct. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. Imagine watching a genocide for 14 months, a stone's throw away in Palestine, and your reaction is, yeah, let me take over Syria. Al-Shara and his Al-Qaeda Daesh goons are Israeli assets, whether they understand it or not. I'm quite certain they do. That's why they don't attack Israel while Israel's taking the land. Duh. There are Mossad in Al-Qaeda. Part of this you not understand, man. Honestly, insane to think about how Man of Steel nearly made it back its entire budget before selling a single ticket. Yep. Yeah, that's a fact. Okay, people, so I think that's about it for me. I just want to wish you guys the best for 2024. Yeah, I did curse and swear on this one. You got some dumb, stupid people out here, man. And there's no other way to describe it. Ooh, a golden age of heroes. This is some good shit. This is some good action. Green Lantern going out there. Oh, goes that finger. There goes the ring. Yeah, he really just sunk that accent in.
هذه الصور تظهر بشكل واضح حجم الدمار الواسع الذي أصاب منازل الفلسطينيين في محيط المستشفى، وذلك بفعل القصف الجوي والمدفعي الإسرائيلي المستمر على المنطقة.
All right, people. So that's basically it for me.
هذه هي الصورة.
He once pleaded for your help, and now his family begs for his release. Are we going to fail them again? Because we delivered a humanitarian message. They broke our hearts over the hospital. They burned it completely. They killed my son. And he tried to save life. This is a man who tried to save life. Are you going to let him get killed too by these fucking assholes? That's the question you got to ask yourself, you know? Are we going to allow a lot of shit to happen? That's the question. Man of Steel, baby. Well, that's what I got for you guys anyway. If I seem a little angry, I'm sorry about that. We spent almost 2 hours here, so nothing I can do. It's raining outside. I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.